Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, an election special. The three candidates running for mayor of Phoenix debate the issues. A Phoenix mayoral debate next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Eight, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. Tonight's show is a debate. We will hear from the three candidates running for mayor of Phoenix. As with all of Arizona Horizon's debates, this is not a formal exercise. It's an open exchange of ideas, an opportunity for give and take between candidates for mayor of the state's largest city. As such, interjections, even interruptions, are allowed, provided that all sides get a fair shake, and we will do our best to see that that happens. Three candidates are competing to be Phoenix's mayors. They are, in alphabetical order, businesswoman Anna Brennan, teacher Matt Jetty, and current mayor running for re-election Greg Stanton. Each candidate will have 1 minute for opening and closing statements. Earlier, we drew numbers to see who goes first, and that honor goes to Matt Jetty.
Thank you, Ted. What follows is a debate, hopefully not dominated by ambiguity or political sound bites to win an election or win political favor from the media. On the one side, you will have a Republican. She's going to talk about 104 and how it's bad for Phoenix because it raises your taxes. She may even talk about legal immigration or abortion. She's certainly going to quote Ronald Reagan at some point. On the other side, a Democrat who's also going to talk about 104, but he's going to talk about how good it is for the Valley because it brings an estimated $7 billion in investment to Phoenix. He may also talk about how strong he is because he's going to be suing the FAA or appealing the court ruling on pension spiking. If you want more, expect better. We're just plain tired of our candidates becoming simple or petty and our politics or our issues becoming more pressing and important. Then I'm your candidate, Matt J. And I thank you for this time and this wonderful opportunity.
All right, thank you very much. For the next opening statement, we turn to Mayor Greg Stanton.
All right, Ted, thanks for hosting tonight's debate, and I'm looking forward to it, to have a good discussion about the future of our city with Anna and Matt, and really dive into to the details. Look, as mayor of Phoenix, I've had a relentless effort to build a more innovative export-based economy, and let me tell you why. No longer can we deal with kind of the ebbs and flows of the Phoenix economy, one that's been over-reliant on growth in real estate. We need to build a more diverse, sustainable economy. That's why during my time as mayor, we've been smart about our investments in the biosciences, investments in higher education. We try to pull ourselves out of the recession so that we don't feel the negative effects as badly as Phoenix has in the past. We've done so with smart fiscal management, maintaining the highest credit rating of any of the largest 6 cities in the country, and we've always balanced our budget. So I look forward to another 4 years as mayor of the city of Phoenix, and I look forward to tonight's debate.
All right, thank you very much. And now let's go to Anna Brennan.
Thank you and good evening. My name is Anna Brennan, and I'm running for mayor for two very important reasons. You, the overworked, overtaxed, unrepresented, everyday Phoenician. Secondly, I'm running to secure a safer and more prosperous Phoenix. You see, like you, I'm an everyday Phoenician, a registered nurse, and a small business owner. Small businesses are the fuel to our economy. And what you'll hear Greg say, who is a lawyer / politician, that he knows better than you or I the bread and butter of the American economy when it comes to things that will stimulate the economy. The fact is that 90% of the American economy is fueled by small business. I'm here to represent you. Your vote is your voice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. All right, let's get it started here. Matt, we'll start with you. Why do you want to be mayor of Phoenix, and what makes you qualified to be mayor of Phoenix?
I think it's a great question, one great to start off with. I think the most important idea for Phoenix is a branding issue. We're the 6th largest city in the country, but yet we don't know what Phoenix actually is. When I first moved here, it felt like Phoenix had no soul. We need to build a core industry. We do need infrastructure, Greg, and I agree with you on that one, but we need it bigger, right? And my qualifications for Phoenix, like you, Anna, I do come from every day. I've been on welfare. I've been a teacher. I've been in private business. I started nonprofits. I know what it takes to lift up a group of people, including the city of Phoenix.
Anna, why are you qualified to be mayor of Phoenix?
Well, that's one of the things that's most important for everyday American to realize. We are government by the people and for the people. It's not a cliche. I came from the school of hard knocks. As an immigrant, I came to this country not speaking English, and I learned through the struggles what creates the American dream. So through that, I'm out there working small business. I see the struggles of America. I face it every day. And yet, when you look at our current politicians, there's that certain disconnect. And when I say disconnect, again, we don't hail and reward small business. It's all about the big businesses, and that's all that's important to us. And yet we need a voice for the taxpayer, for the hardworking Phoenician.
Mayor, you are mayor. You've been mayor. Why do you want to remain mayor?
Well, I grew up in this city. I grew up in West Phoenix in a working class family. My dad sold shoes at JCPenney at the old Park Central Mall in downtown Phoenix, and later on at Christown, he was able to put 4 kids through college, and I was lucky enough to go to law school based on that working person's salary. And I came back to Phoenix to start my family, to start my career, to try to give back to this community. I believe that Phoenix, Arizona is well positioned to take its rightful place among the leading cities in the United States of America, the leading economic cities. We just have to make smarter choices. Again, investing in the right types of technology, innovation, investing in higher education, as the city of Phoenix has consistently done, will continue to do so under my leadership as mayor. So I believe in this city. I love this city. It's the reason why I'm raising my family here, and I'm trying to present a very positive vision for the future of our city. We've got to make smarter choices moving forward. That's what I've tried to do as mayor, and will continue to do so if lucky enough to be reelected.
Matt just said, though, that it seems like Phoenix doesn't really have a soul. Valid?
That is not valid. You go to, Phoenix has, I would politely argue, many souls. We're wonderfully diverse in this city. So go to our Native American community, for example. They represent the soul of the city. Our Latino community, our African American community. Go to the Arts District at Roosevelt Row. Head to South Phoenix. You're going to see places with, I would politely argue, a heck of a lot of soul. And I'm trying to do all I can to highlight those areas. I think they're hugely beneficial to our city and the future of our city. And so I politely argue that Phoenix has many souls. We are a great city, not one without a soul.
Respond, please.
It doesn't make any sense. Every city has a soul then on that regard. Every city has diversity, Greg. What we're talking about here is when you think of Boston, New York, Atlanta, Seattle, Chicago, they have an identity. Phoenix does not have an identity except for let's move to the Valley of the Sun. Right? That's simple as to it. I agree with you. We need diversity, but we shouldn't be doing diversity in a debate as if it should be applauded. It should just be expected. Right? Phoenix, as you mentioned, just in a previous conversation you had a couple months ago, Phoenix, after 12 years in office, still isn't competitive. What are we waiting for? Right? We need a new plan to put Phoenix on the map.
Yeah, let me politely respond to that, and that is the Phoenix, better than any other city in the United States of America, is a place of opportunity. A city where we don't ask the question, why do something? We ask the question, why not do something? This is a city where there's not much of an old boy network, that any person watching this, they or their family member, their children, can achieve any of their goals. We have so many people who have moved from other parts of the country. That is a strength of our community, and the lack of an old boy network, if you will, is one of our biggest advantages. I'm the beneficiary of it. I wouldn't be mayor of this city if that was the case. And I would politely argue that is one of our greatest advantages of the city.
Can I interject just so I get a little bit of time? Is the problem that we're facing today, and I think that's why Mayor Greg has opponents, is because what we're doing is we are trying to plan for something that is Greg's vision and not necessarily the vision of the people. We have forgotten that there are people out there that, one, for example, is Proposition 104. In Proposition 104, you're not considering all of Phoenix. You're not considering the detrimental effects to our economy. With Proposition 104, what's happening is that you're going to ram through this for special interest groups, even though it will hurt our economy in the end, even though that when you talk about sustainability, the #1 salient point in being sustainable is fiscal sustainability. And this Proposition 104 is going to be a train wreck for the city of Phoenix.
I think we'll get to Proposition 104, but I have to go back to one point, and that is you can't put food on the table merely because we don't have a good old boy network. You can't pat yourself on the back and say, hey, everybody, we don't have a good old boy network here, and put food on the table. What's the average per capita income in Phoenix, Greg, as compared to other cities? Do you know what the ranking is here in Phoenix?
Go ahead and answer the question, please.
59th. 59th, with the 6th largest city in the country, with the 59th ranked in per capita income. Do you know how much a loaf of bread is? You say you come from a working hard family. What's the price of a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk?
Depends which one you want, organic, non-organic, $1.99 to
Your
$5.
point
My
is-
point is,
Yeah.
we have two individuals, one Republican, one Democrat, and you say you represent the people, right? But the process has abandoned them, right? You need to know what the people are going through day in and day out. And I know, Greg, you pretend to be homeless for a night, or you've been on food stamps for a week. That actually being on food stamps for a week is called a diet. It's not really understanding what they are.
He also said that this was a place of opportunity. Is it not a place of opportunity?
Every city can say they're a place of opportunity.
So
what does that mean?
But is it or is it not?
No, I don't think it could be so much better. I do not agree with Prop 104. We can get back to that. Not because it's not a good idea. I appreciate we doing public transportation, but it needs to be much bigger. It needs to go all the way to the entire city of Phoenix, not just 6 blocks, right? If you really want to be the city of opportunity, the people of Phoenix need to know what you're doing. Most people just north of these 6 blocks have no idea what you have done, Greg, right? You may be the greatest mayor, right? But no one knows.
All right, let me quite politely respond to those things. Look, in terms of the vision for the future, I actually think a vision of the future that involves building a more innovative economy, a more competitive economy. This is an international economy that is hyper competitive, and we need to better position Phoenix to compete in that international economy. Focusing on innovation and creating a higher educated workforce is not just me saying that. Talk to the Greater Phoenix Chamber of Commerce. Talk to the Greater Phoenix Economic Council. These are organizations that focus relentlessly on improving our economy, and they will tell you that focus, building innovation, export-based economy, focusing on education, is the right vision for the future. And with regard to Prop 104, because I think we're going to talk about that as we should. As you know, when the people of the city of Phoenix support 104, when it passes next month, it's going to bring light rail to South Phoenix, to Maryvale, to Metro Center, to Paradise Valley Mall in Northeast Phoenix,
There's a problem with
to
that,
Grand
right?
Canyon
Excuse
University.
Me, Greg. There's a problem with Prop 104. When you're looking, have you looked and seen and studied light rail in other cities, especially cities of our population size and cities of our footprint? 516 square feet is the size of Phoenix. We're going to put a 35-year tax that in 35 years maybe we'll have 50 miles of light rail. That's not looking out for every Phoenician. That's just looking out for the central core.
Let him
So
respond.
let me finish the point I was making earlier before you had a chance to interject. So the point that I was making is that the suggestion that this transportation plan only benefits one area, I think is inaccurate. Not only with the light rail that's described, but we're going to significantly increase the bus system, which is going to cover every square mile of the city of Phoenix. We're going to significantly improve dial-a-ride services, which benefits people with disabilities, people living in wheelchairs, maybe people who choose not to drive because they've reached a certain age and they don't feel comfortable still driving. That provides mobility independence for tens of thousands of people that need it every single day to get them to education, to get them to doctor's appointments, to get them even to the grocery store. 1,000 miles of bike lanes are going to benefit all Phoenicians.
Yes,
the point I'm
right.
trying to make is to suggest that this is a plan with street improvements. It's going to benefit people all across the city, and we could debate the merits of it, but certainly to suggest that it only benefits a certain 6-block area, I think is inaccurate.
Respond, please.
Well, I'm not arguing that it doesn't benefit some people, Greg. I'm saying it's just too small of an idea. You want the 6th largest city to be on the map? It needs to be bigger. You need light rail to go all the way up 5117, all the way up to Happy Valley or Desert Ridge. You need to develop the entire city, not just the core. Does it benefit? Absolutely. I'm against 104, not because I don't believe in public transportation or light rail. I think what you've done there is fantastic. I think it's just too small. I think we got to think bigger, and that's why I think the residents of Phoenix want.
That's exactly where we're not listening to the city of Phoenix. You're listening just to the core. We're talking about, again, a city that is much larger than Central Phoenix. And we had Transportation Tax 2000. It promised to do all the things that you're saying it's doing. It's not even scheduled to sunset for another 5 years. And yet, here we are again. We're going to tax and tax some more so that the bread and butter of our economy, which is the small business, can't flourish and can't carry our economy. And that's the problem that I want to be the voice of those people.
Anna, has light rail been good for Phoenix or bad for Phoenix?
Well, based on what you see, it was great for that one time, the Super Bowl. Other than that, it doesn't carry its weight. It hasn't taken traffic or congestion off the streets. We say that it's caused an economic boom of $7 billion, but not really. What it did was take out existing businesses, destroy historical neighborhoods to put in something new that's going to service 1% of the population.
Would Phoenix be in better shape right now if light rail had not been implemented?
I completely agree, because the working class needs buses that goes to them. It's not about just going down to the sports stadiums. It's about having a place and a way to get to work.
Come on. Every city needs a light rail or bus. They need public transportation. They need infrastructure.
So every city needs to go bankrupt, is what you're saying.
No city is going to go bankrupt merely because you put people able, like Greg said, they wake up, go home, and they go to work. No one's going to go bankrupt of that. You're actually sending a signal for business to come in. Greg and I disagree on the size of it, but you certainly need an infrastructure on it. You can't just rely on roads and buses.
Then excuse me how you can tout that as being the transportation of the future when we got rid of it in 1958. Why don't we leave the open market?
We're not in the Jetsons. We can't wait for flying cars to go by.
Why not? What's wrong?
Why not?
Yeah,
because this is not a cartoon. The fact is that we need infrastructure.
No, the
right?
fact
And you
is,
need public transportation that can get, if I wake up in Happy Valley and I want to go see a D-backs game or a Suns game, there should be light rail or something that can come back. You want to decrease congestion and pollution? You need it to reach everywhere, not just a small area. Do I think it's a good step? Yeah, Greg, I think it's a good step, but that's what my point is.
I want to jump in and make some additional points, obviously, that may disagree with some of the other folks at the table about the benefit of light rail and public transportation writ large. Look, any great city has to be a truly multimodal city. So anyone that tries to present a false adversarial relationship between cars and buses and light rail, I think is not looking forward into the future. A great city has to be a place where you can use your car to get to work or education if you want, but also you have to have other options, including light rail, including buses, including dial-a-ride, including bus rapid transit, including local circulators. It has to be a great bikeable city and a walkable city. Don't create false choices, and make no mistake, never underestimate the direct connection between higher education achievement and public transportation. Over 30% of the daily rides on our light rail system are people going to higher education, trying to achieve a higher education. For people that can't afford a car, that may be their lifeline. It may be the difference between whether they're able to achieve a higher education or not. It's critically important for the future of our economy.
I want to talk about the budget here. It's balanced, but really it's only balanced for this year. It's balanced by delaying payments to pension funds and these sorts of things. Maybe 30 some odd, 40 some odd $million in the hole next year. What would you do to balance the budget?
Well, one thing is I wouldn't take out a credit card as what we did now to say that we are balanced in an election year, and that's in essence what we did. We wanted to have a balanced budget, so we extended the payments for another 20 years or so. So instead of costing the city $20 million, it's costing us over $60 million. But things that I would do as mayor is go in and cut the waste. We all know that there is a ton of waste in government, and you hear it every day.
$30+ million of waste?
Easily. When you talk about it, yes. We need to go through, right now, we are in the hotel business. We are in it for $338 million, which if we sold it at a loss, we'd at least get our money out and not be wasting $8 million a year just to keep that up. There's money there.
I wish we would have a debate where the Republican wouldn't mention decreasing taxes as the only option, and the Democrat wouldn't just mention education as the only other option.
I didn't say decreasing taxes. I said getting rid of waste.
Okay, so you're going to cut government.
Look, that's all right to cut government.
Okay,
I was with some police officers.
I need to interject here, because if you're going to cut government, we need to know what you're going to cut.
The administrative bloat. I'd be one of the first ones to say that, you know, do we need a mayor and do we need a city manager? Does that need to be reassessed? Do we need a deputy city manager? Do we need this highly numbered government, administrative government? That's the problems when I say cutting.
How would you balance the budget?
Well, I think we got to go back what the main problem is. The main problem is in a pluralistic state like Arizona is, we designed the mayor, right, to be somewhat weak. right? That's just to make sure, that's why we have a city manager, right? Because of when the state was founded in the city. Now, the problem with government isn't the fact that it's too big or too limited or too imposing, whatever the case may be. The problem is it's just like it's treated like every other organization. People attach, detach, and reattach themselves to government, and it becomes a ball to be kicked around. Well, we need to balance the budget, right? You're going to have to find new revenue streams, right? You may have to press, and the Prop 104 is a tax revenue stream. It allows to pay. However, it needs to be an investment. That's why I think people are tired of the wrong investment for the city of Phoenix.
We've only got a couple of minutes left here. How is that budget going to get balanced?
Just a few years ago, people thought in this budget year we'd have a $30+ million deficit, and that's when we roll up our sleeves and get to work. Here's how we solved it this year, and exactly how we're going to solve budget issues moving forward in the future. First, innovation and efficiency. Councilman Bill Gates, and I support him completely, he's got the votes of the council on this issue, has done an incredibly good job of looking for ways that we can be more efficient in our government, saving over $100 million in just the last few years. Pension reform that we've engaged in. I've been on the show many times, and we've had a lot of discussion about the pension reform that's occurred at the city. The steps that we've taken, pension reform and pension spiking changes, have resulted in savings of over $800 million. We have a smaller government now than we've had in 40 plus years. Obviously, we're now looking to the state legislature on the very difficult issue of public safety pension reform. I would politely argue that if they use the model that we followed at the city of Phoenix, that it has in our city saved $800 million, it will go a long way. It will go a long way to deal with those issues.
Efficiency shouldn't be the goal of government. Effectiveness should be. And on the pension spiking, Greg, you approved the pay raise for the previous city manager. You're the primary responsible party for pension problems right now. So to sit there and say we've done a great job, you're part of the problem here.
We've only got about 30 seconds left. How do you respond?
And I agree. That's it. We talk a lot how we're going to fix things, but we never get anything done. And that's where the taxpayer and the everyday Phoenician is tired of it. We hear about it and nothing gets done until another election year. And I listened to the election 2011 debate, and it was the same promises. False promises and no delivery.
All right, we've got to stop it right there. Each candidate will now give a 1-minute closing statement, and going in reverse order of the opening remarks, we start with Anna Brennan.
So my name is Anna Brennan, and I would like to be your voice. Buenas tardes, me llamo Ana Maria Brennan. Yo también soy una inmigrante. Y yo creo que juntos podemos lograr mucho, pero necesito tu ayudas. To my fellow Phoenicians, we've heard this over and over again. I listened to the debates of 2011. There are so many promises and so many broken promises. And if you want your voice to be heard, I ask you to please call me, email me, 480-280-9238. And I look forward to discussing any issue with you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. For our next closing statement, we turn to Mayor Greg Stanton.
All right, Ted, thanks again for doing a great job. I want to thank Anna and Matt for a very good, strong, healthy debate here tonight. Look, I'm asking for the support of the people of Phoenix to continue our positive momentum in the city of Phoenix. We're going to continue to build a more innovative economy, a more export-based economy. We're going to position Phoenix so they can compete successfully in this hyper and competitive international economy that we are facing. So I respectfully ask for your support for 4 more years as mayor. I also ask for your support for Proposition 104. We've had a good debate about it tonight. We've had $7 billion of investment as a result of previous decisions, very smart decisions of the people of the city of Phoenix to advance on public transportation, light rail, buses, street improvement, etc. We've got to continue that positive momentum. When you vote yes on Prop 104, you're going to put this economy in the right direction, increase the amount of light rail, bus service, dial-a-ride, street improvements, and bikeability. And I respectfully ask for your support for Proposition 104. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. And we turn now to Matt Jetty.
Thank you, Ted, and thank you, Anna and Greg, for a lively debate. I know you're frustrated and confused and disappointed in the political process. I'm just asking you to hang in there. The question today isn't whether or not you are better off today than you were 4 years ago. The question is whether or not you like where you are today. Because if you elect one of these two individuals, that's exactly where you will be at best 4 years from now. If you're a Republican or conservative and you vote that way, you have your candidate. If you're a Democrat and liberal and you vote that way, you have your candidate. I'm asking the silent majority to step out into the majority and silence those primarily responsible for the undoing of the very political process to which you are still engaged in. My name is Matt J, and I hope I have convinced you to vote, as well as vote for me for Mayor Phoenix. Thank you.
All right, candidates, thank you very much. Good debate. Good to have you all here. And that is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.